Let's do some matrices. Oh. Three. For problems 1 through 6, suppose that A is the matrix what does it say? 2, 1, 0, negative 1. Did I copy it down right? And B is the matrix on page 603, negative 2, 4, and 3, 1. And C is the matrix 3, 5. And is it 2, 0? Good. Now let's do some math. Problem 2A. 2A plus B. Do you have any idea what we're supposed to do? I guess I should have sent you an email and said, read this section first before you get here, and it'll help. But don't worry about it. Watch how easy this is. Can you see this says 2 times A? That says 2A. Does that make sense? So watch. Let's take 2 times 2, 1, 0, negative 1. Anybody want to guess what that's going to equal? 2 times 2 is what?
4.
2 times 1 is? 2 times 0 is?
0.
2 times negative 1 is? There. That's 2A. That's all there is to it. Now, what am I supposed to do with this answer? Add what? B. Negative 2, 4, 3, and 1. Anybody want to guess what the answer is going to be?
So
2,
6. Do you go across?
6,
3.
3.
And negative 1.
Everybody see how she got that? You see what she did? 4. Oh, let's use blue here. 4 plus negative 2. 2 plus 4. You're adding up the corresponding parts. 0 plus 3 and negative 2 plus 1.
Okay.
And that's all there is to it. So let's do problem C. 2C. 2A. Yeah, where's my eraser? So I have 2A already, but then it says, what's it say after that? 2A minus C. So now I'm going to go minus, and what was C? 3 and 5, and 2 and 0. And what's the answer? 4 minus what? 3 would be 1. 2 minus 5 would be negative 3. Everybody see what's going on? See what we're doing? 0 minus 2 would be, and negative 2 minus 0 would be negative 2. Now you know how to do matrix, multiplying by a scalar, adding, and subtracting matrices. So, when you look at problems 1 through 6, or 1 through 5 on this page, do any of them look a little scary or confusing? Like problem 4? Problem 4 just adds more stuff to it. What does problem 4a say? Oh, let's do 4b instead. No, let's do 4a. A minus b plus 2c. A minus b plus 2c. What's A? 2, 1, 0, negative 1. Minus b, negative 2, 4, 3, and 1. Plus 2 times c, what would that be? What's 2 times c? 6, 10, 4, 0. See, do you see how I got those numbers? So now, what's this one minus this one? What would that be? Two minus negative 2 would be, say it out loud, 4. Now see, here's where now you know how to do matrix stuff. You'll just make a mistake in your computation if you're not careful. 2 minus 4 would be, see, I just about got the wrong ones. 1 minus 4 would be 0 minus 3, and negative 1 minus 1. Did I do my math right? Then I'm going to add to that 6, 10, 4, 0. And what am I going to get for an answer? What's 4 plus 6? 10. What's negative 3 plus 10?
7.
7. What's negative 3 plus 4?
1.
And what's negative 2 plus 0?
Negative 2.
There you go. And that's the answer.
Okay.
So once you understand the process, it's just walking through it and doing the math and keeping everything straight. So, are we okay with 1 through 5?
Yes.
You don't see any of them that look scary? I don't want to scare anybody this morning. We don't want any scary problems, making someone nervous. Page 604. Problem 7 through 12. Wow. Well, they just gave us some new matrices, didn't they? are they? What's A? One, negative 1, and 2. 3, 0, and negative 2. 4, 2, and 1. Do you see the value of copying these things down on your paper before you work on them? Because you're kind of getting them in your head. And B, what's B? Negative 1, 2, and 1. It's even helping you fix in your head, just copying them over like this. 0, 1, negative 1. And what's C? It helps you fix this concept of matrices in your mind. 0, negative 1, and 3. And when you're teaching math to your little chippers in your class, having them copy stuff over like this really does help fix it in their head. Now, what are we going to do for problem number 8? 8C, negative 3 times C. So that would be negative 3. And what would I have here? 0, negative 1, 3, 1, negative 2, 4, and 3, negative 3, 0. And what's that going to equal? Let's change colors here. What goes here? What's negative 3 times 0?
0.
What's negative 3 times negative 1?
3.
And what's negative 3 times 3?
Negative 9.
There you go. See what's going on? So what's the next row? Negative 3, 6, and negative 12. And what's the next row? Negative 9, 9, and 0. So it doesn't matter how big the matrix is. It's the same process. So do you feel powerful? See, I mean, you look at this stuff somewhere and you go, what is that? And then once you walk through it, you go, oh, that's all there is to it. Okay, so let's do another problem. Let's do 10B. What does 10B say? 4A minus 4B. Okay, what's 4A? What's 4 times A?
4.
4.
Negative 4. 8. 12. 0. Negative 8. 16. 8. And 4.
Beautiful. Oh, you got, do you realize when I hear those words coming out of your mouths, I have this picture of what's going on in your heads, and it just, it's the, what can I say? It just creates this bubbly feeling inside me. So now let's do 4 times B. And what do we get? Oops, let me put the little box up here that we're putting all this stuff in. And what do we get? Let me hear it. 8,
4.
4,
16. 12. Negative 4. 0. 4. Negative 4.
and now what are we going to do with these? Now watch, it says subtract them. So, what's 4 minus negative 4?
0. I mean 8.
And see where we have to watch what we're doing with our integers, adding and subtracting integers. What's negative 4 minus 8?
Negative 12.
And what's 8 minus 4?
4.
There you go. 12 minus 16?
Negative 4.
0 minus 12.
Negative 12.
And negative 8 minus negative 4.
Negative 4.
Yeah, because negative 8 minus negative 4 is really negative 8 plus the opposite 4. So now you're going to have to keep straight your rules for adding positive and negative numbers, adding integers. Let's do the last one. What's 16 minus 0?
16.
8 minus 4?
4.
And 4 minus negative 4.
8.
All right. So now you know the process. If you don't get the right answer, when you check in the back, you'll know you made a mistake in your computation. And if you do your computations off by the side somewhere, then you can go back and look at them to check to see if you got them right. Well, so does that take care of 7 through 12? So we're ready for matrix multiplication. Well, and they didn't use the same ones, did they? So they keep changing them on us. So we have to write a new set of matrices up here. And what are the new set of matrices? 1, negative 2 and 1, 2, 0 and 2, and negative 1, 1 and 3. And B is 3, 2, 0, 1, 1, negative 1, and 2, 0, 1. And C is 1, 0, 2, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 0, 1. Okay? Now, number 14, that's A times C. So, A, 1, negative 2, 1, 2, 0, 2, negative 1, 1, 3, times C, 1, 0, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 0, 1. And we're multiplying those two. And what are we going to get for an answer? Okay, for this first number here, the first number, let me change the color to blue. The first number here comes from the first row and the first column. Agreed?
First row and the first column.
See this row? This row and this column produce this number right here.
Why do they do that?
Because it's called matrix multiplication.
I don't like matrix multiplication.
So watch what I do. I go 1, negative 2 and 1, and see that? 1, 3, and 2. This row times this column. So 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 2 times 1 is 2. And then I add the answers. called matrix multiplication. So -6 plus 2 is -4 plus 1 is -3. So what goes in here? -3. So now, let's do the second one. What would that be? The first row, 1, -2, 1, and the second column. See that? What's the second column?
0 to
And what do I do with those numbers?
multiply.
1 times 0 is 0. -2 times 2 is -4, 0. And what do I do with those numbers? Add them together, and what goes here?
How exciting.
So, are we ready to do the third one? That would be the first row times the, so that would be what? 1, -2, 1, and what was that? 2, 1, and 1. 2, 1, and 1. Multiply, 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 and then add. 0, 1. So this is 1. So any idea how I'm going to get the next row? The second row times the first column. That would be 2, 0, 2, 1, 3, 2. Multiply, add, and I get 6. Everybody see what's going on? So let's do the next one. 2, 0, 2, and 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0. So that's 0. Let's do the next one. 2, 0, 2, 2, 1, 1, 4, 0, 2, that's 6. Well, we might as well just keep going here. Might as well do this whole thing. So now we're ready for this one. Third row, first column. See what's going on? So we go -1, 1, and 3, and then what? 1, 3, and 2. Multiply. And that's 8. What's this one? -1, 1, and 3. Second row, 0, 2, 0. Multiply. No, let's do, leave those spaces in there. 0, 2, 0. So that's 2. We only have one more to do. 1, -1. Wow. 1, 3. See how I could make a mistake just by making one little calculation? 2, 1, 1. -2, 1, and 3. Add the answers. 2. And Celeste is already announced to the whole world. She didn't mind scalar multiplication. She didn't mind adding matrices. She didn't mind subtracting matrices. But what were her exact words? I do not like green eggs and ham. No, I do not like matrix multiplication. Well, watch this. This is so cool. Oh boy, can you see that with all that stuff in the back?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go up here and let's type in EASYCalculation.com. Do you have that written down? EasyCalculation.com. Celeste is writing it down real fast.
I'm gonna put a star next to
My plan's smaller here by mine.
Most searched for. Quick search. Here's what I'm looking for. Quick search. I can't see what I'm looking for up there, so I come down here and I go MatrixMultiplication. And let's see what happens. Well, that didn't do anything. Let's go up here. EasyCalculation.com. MATRIX. Matrix. MUT. Matrix multiplication. How do you multiply matrices? Multiplying. You found my book?
I couldn't get to what's on
Cool.
the porch. No, that's right. Sorry.
Thanks.
Okay.
Multiplication of two matrices. And the one I'm picking is Matrix Multiplication Online 2 and 3. There's 5 by 5s, but I think all you need for this one is just these 2s and 3s. And watch this. Multiplying matrices online. A 3 by 3. What was our first matrix? What was it? Minus 1?
No, it's positive 1.
Oh, it's positive 1. Okay. Well, then let's change that.
Wait, it might be minus 1. Let me check. It's
it was 1, negative 2 and 1, wasn't it? Okay,
It's
so
1,
let's take that out
and
of
2.
here.
That's why I don't. We're doing it in college.
So 1, and what's next?
Negative 1.
Negative 2. We're
Where are
multiplying A and C, this one
Oh,
and this one.
okay.
Okay. 1, negative 2, and what's the next one?
1.
1, and what's the next row? 2, 0, 2.
Mm-hmm.
2, 0, 2.
Mm-hmm.
What's the third row?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. And what?
1.
1 and 3. Matrix 2. What's the first row? 1, 0, 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
1.
Mm-hmm. No, that's for C.
C.
Do you want to put in C or B?
What's it doing? A times C.
Okay.
So 1, 0, 2.
There's an
Hmm.
And what's the next row?
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Whoops. Can't put them all at once. You got to put one in and then move it over and then put the next one in. And what's the last row?
201.
2, 0, 1. And then what do? I hit calculate.
Wow.
And what do I get for an answer?
Well then.
-3, -4, 1, 6, 0, 6, 8, 2, and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now you know how to do it manually.
Does it matter what order you multiply two matrices in?
Now, to find out, we could just switch these two around and do C times A and see if we get the same answer.
Okay.
And if we put C over here and said C times A, then that would be the first one, would be the first row times the first column, 1, 0, 2, 1, 2, -1, 1, 0, 2, and 1, 2, -1, 1, 0, -2. The first number for C times A would be 1, 0, -2. Whoops, that doesn't match this, does it? So if you switch the order, you get different answers.
I see.
So now do you know where to go?
Mm-hmm.
You know how to find this place?
Mm-hmm.
So now you just found a quick way online to do problems 13 through 20. I mean, okay, like when number 20 says A squared, that just means what?
A times A.
A times A. And so you get that answer and copy it down off of the easy calculation, and then you get C squared, C times C, copy that one down, and then what do you do with those two answers? Subtract the C squared from the A squared. You follow what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in problems 23 through 27, verify that A times B equals I. You know what I is? It's the identity matrix. Let's go back up here to easy calculation. Let's go back a minute. Let us go back. Not going to let us go back, huh? So let's go A, T, R, I. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we don't have to. Maybe we can go down. They showed a 3 by 3. Do they have a 2 by 2? You see, problem 24 is a 2 by 2 matrix. So I'm clicking on a 2 by 2. Did you see where I went down and it had different matrices to pick? I clicked on a 2 by 2. So let's make this a little easier to see. Let's erase all this stuff. getting awful messy in here. That's the way math is. Math is just messy. And I hope when you start teaching math, you let your little kids show all their mess. Okay, we're doing 24. So what's the first matrix? For problem 24? Negative 2.
1.
And what? Whoops. That doesn't look like I hit the negative. There. What's going on here? Delete. Negative 2. It's not letting me do negative 2. Why is it doing that? Well, what's happening here? Negative. Huh.
I was like, how do I move where I'm typing it? And just like, I was like trying to tap on it.
Negative there. Nope, it's not doing it over there either. Oh, come on. Well, I don't know why it's not letting me do a negative number. But we could do that one.
Yeah, I can figure out how to do a negative number on that one either.
Okay, but see, we could do 24 on our own. It wants to know A times B, and A is negative 2 and 3, 1 and negative 1, times B, 1 and 3, and 1 and 2. What would that equal? Okay, what goes here? First row, negative 2 and 3, first column. First row, first column, 1 and 1, negative 2 and 3, add that, you get 1. Then the next one would be negative 2 and 3, and then the last column, 3 and 2, negative 6 and 6, you get 0. And then down here, 1 and negative 1, and the first 1 and 1, 1 and negative 1, add those, you get 0. And then the last one, 1 and negative 1, and 3 and 2, you get 3 and negative 2, and that's 1. And the identity matrix, that's the identity matrix. The identity matrix for a 2 by 2 is 1, 0, 0, 1. The identity matrix for a 3 by 3 is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay? It tells you that back earlier in the chapter. So I don't know why the 2 by 2 wasn't letting me use negatives. Reset. Okay, maybe if I just hit reset. Let's see what happens now.
Is it just the 2 by 2 that wasn't letting you? Was the other one letting you?
Yeah, it did. Let's see what happens now. Negative. Whoops, come up here. Nope. For some reason, it's not taking that negative sign. But the 3 by 3 did. So when it comes to problem 27. And that's when they say verify. You just multiply those two and show that that's what you got for an answer, the identity matrix. Okay, skip 28 through 32. Just skip 28 through 32 because people say, what do you do with this stuff anyway? And the answer is under applications. So let's, since we have enough time, and problems 33 through 35 all have to do with the same stuff, let's just do it together as a class to show you how this stuff works. Number 33. The Easy Rest Furniture Company makes armchairs and rocking chairs. So that means they make armchairs and they make rocking chairs. And they make 3 models: E, M, economy, medium priced, and luxury. See what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Each month they turn out 20 economy armchairs, 15 medium and 10 luxury. And when it comes to rockers, they have 12 economy rockers, 8 medium rockers, and 5 luxury rockers. And what did they want you to do here for problem 33? Write this information in a 2 by 3, 2 rows and 3 columns matrix. We just did that. Now, watch. So we just did A. Now let's do B. What does B say to do? What's it say to do? Use your answer for A. So that would be 20, 15, 10, 12, 8, 5. To obtain a matrix showing the total production for what? 6 months. So you already know what to do, don't you? That would be what? What goes here?
6.
120, right? And then 6 times 15 is what? 90 and 60. And what's 6 times 12? 72, 48, and 30. Now, suppose the cost of materials for armchairs are 30 for economy, 35 for mediums, and 45 for luxury. Follow what's going on? And for rockers, what's the economy cost? 35. 40, and 60. See what I'm taking that paragraph? I'm taking the information in a paragraph and making a matrix. 34A, write a matrix. We just did. That's A. 34B. Suppose the cost increases by 20%. So if the cost increased by 20%, that means I'm going to take 120% times the matrix to find out what the new cost is. You follow that? And what's 120%? Is that the same as 1.2?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
See, that's why they said multiply by 1.2. Because if the cost goes up 20%, then that means the new cost is 120% of the old cost.
Right.
Sometimes when books write things, they expect you to make a big leap, don't they, in your head without walking all the steps through it. And that's the same when you're teaching math to those little chippers. Same thing will happen. So just walk them through the whole process. Number 35, at the end of 6 months, they've sold, oh, this was 6 months. Okay, this is 6 months production, isn't it? I'm going to erase this over here. And I'm just going to put up here, B is 1.2 times that matrix, okay? So you can work that out. Well, you don't have to, that's an even one. But you have to do this. 6 months production, and here is 6 months sales. And what's the sales for 6 months? Armchairs, 90 and 75 and 50 and rockers, 60 and 20. See how it helps when you take this stuff and put it in this matrix form? And 30. And how many are left over? So what do I have left in inventory? I just subtract those two matrices. Which would be 120 minus 90 would be what? 30. 90 minus 75 would be what? 15. And 60 minus 50 would be 10. 72 minus 60 would be 12. 48 minus 20 would be 28. And 30 minus 30 would be 0. Now, do you understand how valuable it would be to have this information if you're working in the office keeping track of stuff? You need to tell those people that they need to get cracking on making a whole bunch of luxury rockers, because we just sold everything that we had. So we need to adjust our production numbers, don't we? And you probably want to do some more luxury armchairs, increase that, and maybe decrease this a little bit. See, and you see how looking at those matrices out there, you see that picture on paper, and you see exactly what's the status of the company. And the reason, and we were going to do some more, but we'll stop there, because 36, 37, 38 has to do with the ABC Sports Company. And if you want to do that just for fun, you can go, why am I seeing smiles? You can go back and read the chapter where they talk about the ABC company, and then they just have some more questions to go along with it. But do you see the practical value of this? See, sometimes people go, so what do we use this for anyway? So if you get hired by a company someday to work part-time in the summer, and they go, do you know anything about matrices? And you go, yeah, I do. In my preparation for being an elementary school teacher, I took a math class that taught me about matrices. I understand how companies benefit from using those. I can work with it. There you go. So stop when you get to 35. And it looks like we're done for the day.
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank easycalculation.com. But isn't it kind of, there I'm using that word fun again, isn't it kind of fun to know, I mean you can plug in the numbers and do the work on the calculator on the internet, but isn't it kind of fun to know what the process is?
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you appreciate. See, when I studied this stuff, when I was in college and I was your age and I studied this stuff, there was no online place to go do it for you automatically. You had to do it yourself. Oh, I need to turn this off and turn off that recording.
I must be